Hello everybody, my name is Thalia. I am a career mentor for Career Institute, and today I'm going to be focusing on the attitude portion of the Bring Your A Game to Work training. Let's get started. So today we're going to go through attitude, which attitude is one of the 7 essential workplace values in the Bring Your A Game to Work. So let's get started. So what exactly is Bring your A game to work? You've got the job, we'll teach you how to keep the job. That's the whole mentality of bringing your A game to work. Perhaps the biggest part of success is being prepared and having the right tools. Learning to bring your A game to work helps you be successful every day. Your employer expects you to be prepared for work. This includes dressing properly, showing initiative, doing what is asked cheerfully, being honest, and always giving friendly service no matter what. Now's the time to prove you got what it takes. Show your employer why they hired you and why they want to keep you. Bring Your A Game is a fun way to learn about how to be successful at work every day. So when it comes to Bring Your A Game, there is a total of 7 essential workplace values to be successful in any job. Here is the list of the 7 workplace values. Today we're going to be discussing about attitude, and attitude is all about adopting a positive mental attitude and the fact that you are in complete control. And just know Bring Your A Game was created by the Center for Work Ethic Development, which provides curriculum, training, and certification programs that have a long-term impact on the individual and organizational performance. So again, we're going to review attitude. So what exactly is attitude? So attitude is adopting a positive mental attitude. You are in complete and total control of your attitude. What you do about all that happens to you and around you is something you can't control. How you choose to deal with your life comes from attitude. It comes down to the choice, and the choice is yours. That is why you're in control. And the secret that if you believe with heart and soul will set you free and rock your world, the secret is attitude. So again, continue with what is attitude. It's easier, when it comes to attitude, it's definitely easier to have a negative attitude than a positive attitude. A negative attitude really comes from our sense of powerless. Bad attitude leads to a sense of despair, a sense that we don't matter in this world. Things aren't hopeless, and things will improve. Things will improve because, again, you have control of your attitude. So you're not in control of the stuff that happens around you or even to you, but you are in control of the response in everything in that sort. Some of the stuff that happens in your life is great, and unfortunately, some of the stuff is not that great in your life. Sometimes it could be completely unfair, but in spite of how it might be sometimes, no one gets all the great and no one gets all the bad. Luckily, the opposite is also true. No one gets all the bad and none of the great. Again, it's all about having that attitude. So when it comes to attitude, it's a real and extraordinary powerful. We all want everyone to have a positive attitude over a negative attitude. Attitude cannot be taken away. How you react to your life is all about attitude. It's an actual behavior. People who care about you want to choose positive attitude over a negative one because they know it's the one thing that will serve you forever and no one can ever take it away. So let me tell you a little bit more about attitude. So when it comes to attitude, it's really how you perceive yourself, but also how you react and behave to what is going on in the outside world. When it comes to attitude, you have control. When it comes into a choice, and the choice is always going to be yours. That's something to really think about. When it comes to your attitude at work, Your attitude defines how you approach your job every day. So if you go into your job happy, your day will be a happy day. But if you wake up in the morning very grumpy and not so happy, that's how you're going to carry out your day at work. So it's really important that you remain positive with a good attitude to show others that you have a great attitude. And then your attitude is going to determine how far you will go in your current job and the next and the next and so on. The truth is, life is 10% what happens and 90% of how you react. So the caffeine zone. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some time to read this scenario. It's about 3 employees and a manager. So go ahead and read that through. So reviewing Jasmine's situation, a lot of individuals will say, you know, that's not fair. This is a phrase often heard from kids, teens, and young adults, and certainly something Jasmine had the right to say or at least think. And it's also probably the phrase your inner voice keeps repeating over and over when you get into a similar situation at home or on the job. It's that voice inside your head telling you that you've gotten a raw deal, that you can't catch a break, that there's no use trying because trying gets you nowhere, that you have no control over what happens to your life. So Jasmine's situation was that she was on time, she was the one that was correcting many mistakes, but she was given a particular task that was probably the worst. But you know what? She had the attitude and took on that task happily, although she didn't want to, but she did it anyway. And a lot of people say, well, that's not fair because the other 2 employees got there late and they got the easiest tasks. Again, when it comes to attitude, you really have to think about your inner voice. It can be frustrating when it's not fair. You feel powerless when it's not fair. You probably aren't always going to get what you deserve in your job or your career, but again, having that attitude and moving forward is important. You may have some bad days. You don't want to do what you're asked to do. So what do you do when it comes to those particular questions? You honestly just deal with it. You do what your employer or your boss tells you to do because they're relying on you to carry on the tasks they're giving to you or the responsibilities. Another thing to discuss is professionalism. Professionalism. What exactly does that mean? So again, life is tough and the workplace can be even tougher, sometimes very unfair. Everybody has bad days as discussed. The days when you go to class without your homework being completed, when you're running late for work, or when you get into a fight with a friend or with your friends. It's really hard to stay positive on these kind of days. And again, going back to, you have to deal with it. And yes, life can be tough and life can sometimes be unfair too. But there is no excuse for bad attitude. You may be treated a certain way, you may have a bad day, but again, it's not an excuse for you to have a bad attitude towards that specific situation. Regardless where you work, your employer or your boss expects you to accept any responsibility of your job. So if you're asked to clean the toilets, you will accept that responsibility. If you're asked to be a host, if you're asked to do any type of task, you have the responsibility to do that job because that is your job. Your employer expects you to be courteous, enthusiastic, and positive. It's your job to do the best you can no matter what. And that is exactly what professionalism is being able to carry on your day, even if you're having a bad day, being able to act professionally with others. If you're having a horrible day, you're not going to act that towards your customers. You're going to be professional. You're going to be positive and curious and carry on about your day and have that professionalism. Again, you are in control of your attitude, and it's really important that you understand that you have that control. When it comes to attitude, this is an activity that you can do, and it says assign a number to each letter in the alphabet in order with A being equal to 1, being equal to 2, and so on and so forth. When you total up the sum of each of the letters, you'll see something remarkable about this amazing 8-letter word. So go ahead and do that activity. And that is attitude. Is all about giving your 100%. Here is an activity, and here's a list of top 10 reasons you should have a good attitude in the workplace. Choose one discussion question from page 25 or 26 and answer them as the assignment has asked you to do. Other than that, thank you very much for listening to this specific section of Bringing AGame to Work training, which was attitude.